And on this Friday, February 27th, 2026 edition of Newsmakers, Attorney General Pam Bondi says federal prosecutors have indicted 30 more people tied to a protest at a Minnesota church. Bondi says 25 of those people are already under arrest. The protest also led to the arrest of independent journalist Don Lemon and local activist Nikema Levy Armstrong, both who pleaded not guilty to civil rights charges. Protesters descended on City's Church in St. Paul, Minnesota on January 18th after learning that one of the church's pastors also serves as an immigration and customs enforcement official. The protest drew swift condemnation from Trump administration officials and conservative leaders for disrupting a Sunday service. A U.S. civil rights agency has determined that the federal government can bar transgender employees from using bathrooms aligned with their gender identity. The Equal Employment Opportunity Commission yesterday dismissed an appeal by a civilian IT specialist who worked for the Army at Fort Riley, Kansas. In its finding, the EEOC found that the Army's decision did not violate Title VII of the 1964 Civil Rights Act, which prohibits discrimination on the basis of sex, race, religion, and national identity. That's a retreat from the agency's finding a decade ago. Scouting America is agreeing to make policy changes to maintain military support. Lisa Dwyer reports.
Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth has announced that Scouting America will alter several policies at the urging of the Pentagon, including a requirement that members use biological sex at birth and not gender identity, while adding a military service merit badge and waiving registration fees for children of military personnel. The military has a long history of sponsoring Scout troops and has maintained a strong relationship with the Eagle Scouts, whose members often enlist in the armed forces. Hegseth says the Pentagon will vigorously review the changes the organization has made in 6 months and will cease its support of Scouting America if it fails to comply. I'm Lisa Dwyer.
Instagram will start alerting parents if their kids repeatedly search for terms clearly associated with suicide or self-harm. The alerts will only go to parents who are enrolled in Instagram's parental supervision program. Instagram says it already blocks such content from showing up in teen account search results and directs people to helplines instead. The announcement yesterday comes as Meta faces 2 trials over harms to children. A trial underway in Los Angeles questions whether Meta's platforms deliberately addict and harm children. Another in New Mexico seeks to determine whether Meta failed to protect children from sexual exploitation on its platforms. American sympathies in the Middle East have shifted toward the Palestinians, according to new Gallup polling, after decades of overwhelming support for the Israelis. That shift accelerated during the war in Gaza. 3 years ago, 54% of Americans sympathized more with the Israelis, compared with 31% for the Palestinians. Now, their support is about evenly balanced, with 41% saying their sympathies lie more with the Palestinians and 36% saying the same about the Israelis. The changing sentiment has been largely driven by Democrats, who are now much more likely to sympathize with Palestinians. Gallup's data indicates that the shift was already happening before Hamas attacked Israel on October 7, 2023, that increased during Israel's subsequent military operations in Gaza. The polling is a margin of error of plus or minus 4 percentage points, meaning sentiment toward Israelis and Palestinians are roughly even. And that's Newsmakers for this Friday, February 27th, 2026 edition. I'm Keith Black.